Hello, good day. I am Nurul Alfa and we're going to talk about the preparation for Cambridge IGCSE Physics, and the code is 0625. Okay, now let us look at the content overview for Year 10 and Year 11. Basically, we have altogether 5 topics. Start with general physics is the first one. Second one is thermal physics. The third one is properties of wave. The fourth one is electricity and magnetism. And the last one is atomic physics. Based on this course book, David Sang, Cambridge IGCSE Physics for 2nd edition, we have total 5 topics and 23 chapters. Basically, all candidates will take 3 papers. 2 theoretical papers and 1 will be practical paper. Okay, for candidates who have studied the core subject content or the one who are expected to achieve a grade D or below, that candidate should be entered for paper 1, paper 3 and either paper 5 or 6. So these candidates will be eligible for grades C to G. Whereas, for candidates who have studied for the extended subject content, which means studied the content for core and supplement, and who are expected to achieve a grade C or above, should be entered for paper 2, paper 4, and either paper 5 or paper 6. Basically, these candidates will be eligible for grades A* to G. Let us now look at core assessment. For core candidates, they will take the following papers that have questions based on the core subject content only. So the first one is paper 1, which is multiple choice questions. It will take about 45 minutes and give you 40 marks. Okay, you have 40 multiple choice questions and you have to choose either A or B or C or D. Okay, just choose one that you consider correct. So it will give you 30% out of 100%. The second one is paper 3, which is theoretical paper, and it will take around 1 hour and 15 minutes and will give you 80 marks. It is a short answer and structured questions paper, and the weightage is the highest among 3 papers, which is 50% out of 100%. The last one is practical paper. So basically, all students have to take either paper 5 or paper 6. So paper 5 is actually practical test, and it is 1 hour 15 minutes, give you 40 marks and 20% out of 100%. But in our case, we're going to do paper 6, which is alternative to practical, and it is not hands-on. It is a written exam. The duration is 1 hour and the marks is 40 marks. The percentage is the least among 3, which is 20%. And the questions will be based on the experimental skills. Okay, the next one is extended paper. Okay, so the first paper for extended candidates is paper 2. It is a multiple choice questions 40 marks, 44 choice multiple choice questions, and it will take about 45 minutes, and the weightage is the same as paper 1, which is 30%. And for this paper, the questions will be based on the standard subject content, which is covered under core and supplement content. Okay, the next one, the second paper is paper 4, which is a theory paper. And the duration is 1 hour and 15 minutes, give you 80 marks, and the percentage is the highest among 3, same as paper 3 for core candidates. It is a short answer and structured questions, and the question will be based on the standard subject content, which is core and supplement. Okay, the third paper for extended candidates is either paper 5 or paper 6, which is practical paper. So paper 5 is actually practical tests, and this is hands-on experiment. But then in our case, okay, we're going to sit for paper 6, and it is alternative to practicals, and it is a written test. The duration is 1 hour, marks is 40 marks, and the weightage is the least among 3, which is 20% out of 100%. And all the questions will be based on the experimental skills. Okay, here is some more detail about each of the practical papers. So basically, the candidates may be asked questions on the following experimental context. The first one is about measurement of physical quantities such as length or volume or force. Second one, either cooling and heating. The third one, about springs and balance. Number 4, timing motion or oscillations. Number 5, electric circuits. Number 6, optics equipment such as mirrors, prisms, and lenses. Number 7, which is the last one, the candidates may be asked questions based on procedures using simple apparatus in situations where the method may not be familiar to you. General advice for the candidates for all the 3 papers. The first one, the candidate have to read the questions carefully. Read one by one and make sure the students, you didn't miss any information from the question. Second one, the students have to look for details that indicate how to answer or the depth of answer required. Okay, for example, the question described in terms of the movement and energies of the water molecules, how evaporation takes place. This question gave you 2 marks. And based on this, it shows that you must make 2 valid points, and you must refer to movement as well as energy of the molecules. So, wording such as some molecules have more energy than others, and these molecules will leave the surface, will gain both mark. Basically, gain full mark. 2 marks for 2 points. Okay, the third one. Make sure that you are confident with your calculator, especially when you use powers of 10. Number 4, especially for physics, okay, I think for all the science subject, you must always show your working in calculations. If let's say you just provide there the answer without the calculation, and you may have lose mark. Okay, number 5. Physics, it is very, very important for you to include the units where appropriate. Okay, please remember the SI unit for every quantity. Do not leave the derived unit. Okay, like for example, if you calculate pressure, okay, basically for solid, pressure is equal to force divided by area. So the derived unit is Newton for force, meter squared for area. So the final answer, you cannot leave the unit Newton per meter squared. Instead, you have to use SI unit for pressure, which is Pascal. Okay, when you do paper 3 or paper 4 especially, okay, you have to explain certain concept. You must use the keyword, okay, short and brief. Do not use vague descriptions. Next one, when you have to draw graph or diagram, make sure you use a sharp pencil and taking care to plot each point with a small neat cross and to draw a thin best fit line. Next one, okay, at the end of a calculation, ask yourself whether your answer is sensible or not. Okay, for example, if you have quantity such as the thickness of a meter rule, okay, your calculation, you must make sure that it is sensible, okay, for the thickness for a meter rule. Okay, it is somewhere around 2 mm or 3 mm. Okay, don't use answer smaller or bigger than that value. Okay, the last one. Okay, make sure you answer the question set. You will gain no marks for merely repeating the facts given in the question. Next one, let us look at physics formulas that you should remember. Okay, we're going to start with forces. Okay, here we have a lot of formula under forces. The first one is density, and then followed by the force itself is equal to F is equal to MA. Okay, as well as force due to the spring, F is equal to KE, and so on and so forth. Okay, I'm not going to go to details one by one. Okay, maybe you can pause the video and you can take a picture or you can screenshot. Okay, the next one, okay, the formulas is under energy. Okay, and then you have elastic energy, which caused by the spring. Okay, and go after that is kinetic energy, half mv squared. Okay, potential energy, PE is equal to mgh. Okay, so basically KE and PE is important. Okay, always come out in exam. Okay, and the next one is thermal energy as well as law of conservation of energy. So here it said that loss of energy is equal to gain of energy. Means that when you have a ball fall down from a certain height, okay, fall from certain height, then the potential energy lost during that movement is equal to the amount of kinetic energy gain. Okay, and then the last one under energy is equal to power is equal to change in energy or energy transferred divided by time. Okay, you can pause the video and take a screenshot. Okay, the next one, it's about wave and light. Okay, you have period, which is 1 over frequency. And then the wave equation, V is equal to F lambda. Okay, and then the other three, okay, which is got to do with refractive index. So altogether, you have 3 equations for you to calculate refractive index. Okay, the next one, which is the last one, is about electricity. Okay, there's a lot of equation under electricity. The first one, we start with charge is equal to IT, which is I is current, T is time. Okay, for just a reminder, yeah. Okay, for equation Q is equal to IT. Okay, if you look at the equation all here, okay, you have E, you have QV, PT. Okay, these letters all are symbol. Okay, symbol for the quantity. Quantity is time, the symbol is small letter t. But then the unit for time, basically for the SI unit for time is second. Same goes to current. Okay, same goes to current. The symbol for current is capital letter I. The unit for current, the SI unit for current is A, ampere. Okay, so please make sure you know what is symbol, what is SI unit, what is quantity. Okay, the next one is about electrical symbols, which is very important, okay, for electric topic, okay, which is the fourth topic, electricity and magnetism. Okay, so you have a lot of symbol here. Okay, we go from cell, switch, battery or cells. Okay, this one is one cell. This one, when you have a combination of cells, which means when you have battery. Okay, and then up until junction of conductor to microphone. Okay, also you may pause a video and then take a screenshot. Okay, the next one, okay, the continuation from electrical symbol. Okay, you have lamp. Okay, here you have fixed resistor. Okay, you have fixed resistor, variable resistor, thermistor, light dependent resistor, as well as heater. If you look at these 5 symbols, all are almost the same. Okay, but then I already brief you guys, okay, what is the difference between these 5, how to remember in class. Okay, and then here you have ammeter, voltmeter and galvanometer. Okay, ammeter and galvanometer more or less the same, but then it is slightly different. Okay, so ammeter, normally we used to detect larger current. Okay, but then for galvanometer, it's a smaller current. Okay, and then the next one. Okay, the next one you have potential divider symbol. Okay, and then go to relay coil, transformer, and then up until all the gates. Okay, all the gates. And you have total 5 gates. Okay, start with AND gate, OR gate, NAND gate, NOR gate. The last one is NOT gate. Okay, so basically I can say all this symbol you have to remember. Okay, right. So for more information, so basically if you want to look for more advice, okay, if you want to look for more quantity as well as their SI units, okay, and the details about each paper, okay, you may refer to the syllabus as well as learner guide. Okay, so syllabus, you have the content, okay, you have the content what you have learned under core and extended. Whereas for learner guide, you also have content, but it is more benefit, give more benefit to you because you have the checklist there. Okay, you can check whether that specific content you already master or not. Okay, if not, then you can revise, you do revision. So basically learner guide is more beneficial to you. Okay, now let us look at example candidate responses. This question taken from paper 3 June 2016. The levels of students' performance is middle, and the topic is about motion. Okay, where the first question normally is about motion or measurement. Okay, alright, so okay, you have here speed time graph for a cyclist and for a runner. Okay, speed is y-axis, time is x-axis, which is horizontal here. And you have two lines. The top one is for cyclists, okay, the motion of cyclists. The bottom one is for runner. Okay, look at A here. Compare the motion of the cyclist and the runner during the first 6 seconds. Explain your answer. This question gives you 3 marks. Okay, so let us read this candidate response. Okay, the cyclist picks up speed leaving the runner at some while the cyclist is 9 meters per second with a gap of 3 meters per second. Okay, so look at this candidate's response. Okay, this candidate's answer. The handwriting is hard to read. Okay, basically I think this one is yeah, at 6 meters per second. Okay, make sure when you write down your answer, okay, please be extra careful, pay attention to your handwriting. Okay, sometimes not all the examiner can read your handwriting. Okay, sometimes you may put the correct answer, but then you get it wrong because it's hard to read. Okay, so it is only first question, but then the handwriting is like this. So make sure all of you be extra careful with your handwriting. Okay, let us look at what examiners say about this response. Okay, so this response indicates that the cyclist is gaining speed but does not give details of the motion of the runner. So a mark is scored for identifying correctly the faster speed of the cyclist. So this candidate only get 1 mark out of 3 marks. Okay, so okay, even you are core students, okay, even when you take core paper or extended paper, this question is valid for both. Okay, so you have 3 marks here. Okay, so how can you get all 3? You have to explain, okay, about the speed, and from speed time graph you can get acceleration, so talk about that. Okay, so here the first one will be given if you have information about speed. Okay, so talk about both cyclist and runner. Okay, you see, okay, from the 0 to 6 second, okay, for the first 6 second, okay, from 0 to 6, from here to there. Okay, so both runner and cyclist, the speed is increasing. Okay, speed is increasing. That one is 1 mark. Okay, speed increase for both, yeah, cyclist and runner. And then after that, you talk about acceleration. Okay, so acceleration, as you see in the graph, let's see. Okay, acceleration is constant for both. Okay, the last one, how can we know the acceleration is constant? By looking at the graph. Okay, you have straight line here. Straight line means that when you want to determine, you want to calculate the acceleration, you get constant acceleration from the gradient. So acceleration is constant as the gradient of the graph is constant. Okay, as the gradient constant. So please make sure, yeah. From the general advice just now, okay, even your answer is not that long, okay, but then you state briefly and precisely what is the keyword, so you can get 3 marks here. Okay, right, let us look at another question, which is 1b. Okay, describe the motion of the cyclist between time t 6 second and time t 12 second. Okay, so you have 6 second basically from here for runner and then cyclist, but then in the question they ask you to put down for cyclist only. Okay, so for cyclists here, okay, the candidate's answer is it is constant, which is correct. So examiner say that okay, this is the examiner comment. Okay, constant speed is the required answer, so the mark is 1 mark. Right. Okay, C. 1C. Calculate the total distance travelled by the cyclist between T0 and T12. Okay, so let us look at the candidate's response here. The candidates just write down D is equal to S times T, which is distance is equal to speed time. Okay, so the examiner said that the graph gives an indication of the areas of a triangle and a rectangle. So the candidate has calculated the area of the triangle incorrectly. So the final mark is a quality mark awarded to candidates who obtain the value of 81 meter having completed correctly all parts of the calculation. So basically this one we have to calculate distance travel by cyclist. So by cyclist, okay, distance travel for speed time graph. So speed time graph, distance travel okay, is equal to area under the graph. So if you look at here, area under the graph is this one, okay, for cyclists. Okay, so up until here. Okay, you have this area. So basically it is a trapezium. Okay, you can calculate like one shot, or you want to divide to two area. So here I want to calculate one shot. So distance traveled is equal to area under the graph. Okay, area under the graph. So calculate one shot is equal to half, okay, which is for trapezium. So half times A plus B. So length here from 6 to 12 is 6 plus length here from 0 to 12 is 12 times the height. Height here is from 0 for speed is 0 to 9. Okay, 9 here. So speed here is equal to 9 meter per second. Okay, times 9. So 9, right. So 9 divided by 2, 4.5. Yeah, 6. Okay, so the total area is equal to 81. Okay, so 81 meter. Okay, the total distance is 81 meter. Okay, so basically it gives you 4 marks. So make sure you do it correctly. Okay, 4 marks because why? Okay, let's see here. These students divide. Okay, one by one. If let's say you do one area here, you get 2, and then another area, second part here for a rectangle, you get another 2. But then if you just combine, okay, then you get you straight away get 4. Okay, D here. Okay, after the first 6 seconds, the runner moved at a constant speed for 4 seconds. Okay, he then slows down uniformly and stops in a further 2 seconds. Okay, so on this figure, complete the graph for the runner's motion. So let us look at this candidate's answer. So basically, the answer for this one is, okay, let us choose another color so that we can see clearly. Okay, so this is the line that the candidates draw. Okay, this line, the one that I just highlight with the green color one. Okay, so the graph is completed correctly. So this is the answer actually. Okay, because after 6 seconds, okay, runner move at constant speed. So constant speed means that it is a horizontal. Okay, your speed didn't change. Okay, for 4 seconds. So for 4 seconds, from 6 seconds up until 10 seconds. So 4 seconds. He then slow down uniformly. Okay, uniformly means that these students, I mean the motion for this runner decrease uniformly. Okay, from 6 meter per second until 0. Okay, and stops in a further 2 seconds. Means that from 10 to 12 it is a straight line. Okay, because deceleration is constant here. Okay, alright, so basically I hope that you know how to answer this kind of question, how to get a full mark from this kind of question. Okay, thank you everyone.